Y'all, my booty starting to hurt sitting on this ground like this. Like, I ain't got good sense. Hey everybody, welcome back for another video. So if you're new here, my name is Shanthi. Today's video is a little bit different. I'm doing a Q&A and I'm answering you guys' questions. So I posted a notification in my community tab letting you guys know that I was doing a Q&A, and so you guys could go ahead and ask me whatever questions you want to ask. I know I have quite a few new subscribers over here. I even have some subscribers that have been around for a long time that wanted to ask questions. So I'm super excited for this because where I did look at some of the questions, I did not look at all of them, you guys. So I wanted to, after I started looking at them, I kind of wanted to give like my natural reply, my facial expressions, all that. I feel like sometimes I can't even control my face. Like, I'm completely out of pocket sometimes. But anyways, I wanted to make it as organic and natural as possible. So like I said, I did look at some of the questions, but not all. So I'll be reading questions from the community tab and also from my Instagram. And then as I read the questions, I'm also going to be saying who it came from, and hopefully I don't mispronunciate any of you guys' names or channel names. Let's get started. If you see me looking down a lot, and that's because I'm looking at my phone. Okay, so I'm just going in order. I'm gonna do the community tab first and then I'll hop over to Instagram. But this comes from the Jazzy Lady. So first of all, it says, no questions, just wanted to say I love your channel. It is so inspiring seeing a happily married couple and an authentic family on YouTube. You seem so genuine and I love to see it. Also love your homemaking videos and vlogs. Thank you so much, the Jazzy Lady. Next question or comment, whatever, comes from Terry Lynn Brawley. I'm so happy I randomly found your channel. The pic of you is stunning. You're beautiful inside and out. You radiate love for your family. Aw, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I especially always appreciate comments that you guys leave about like the kind of mom or wife I am, because those are the two things that I hold so dear to my heart. So thank you guys. Christy M. What's the hardest thing you and your husband went through, and how long did it take for you guys to recover? So this is one of the questions I did see. And without going into too much detail for the privacy of my oldest daughter, I will say this. If you guys hear the trash man, I'm sorry, but it's trash day. Nevertheless, for any of you guys that may be going through something like with a teenager, whether it be, you know, your son or your daughter, and it seems kind of like nobody else has been there, my husband and I have. And not just us, our daughter as well. Like I said, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but just know that, and I'm talking about stuff like not just regular adolescent stuff, just adolescent stuff plus other things put on there. Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one to talk about, and I'm just not prepared to talk about that right now. But how long did it take us to get through it? Well, it's been going on for some years. I don't know, for quite a while. And then there was a patch in our marriage where it was very, very rough. That's what I'll say. It was just very rough because it was rough all around, you know, just like overall. It was like an overall, I don't know, it just kind of felt like you were going through a fog. And I don't know, I'm not gonna say how long that lasted because I don't even know. But I do remember the hardest part being like it was a few months. It was a few months, and the hardest, like the roughest patch of it was definitely for a few months. And it was rough. I can't even put into words how rough it was. But what I will say is that there's only two things that got us through. First is God and prayer. I mean, without that, I don't think that we would have made that. We would have made it past that. But also it was just our love and our dedication to our family. So to one another and to our family. So anyways, if you're going through something like that, where you're going through a rough patch and you feel like you just can't see the end of it, like it's just too much and you just can't see the end. You know, you can't see like when it's gonna get better. My only advice would be to remember how much you love each other, to pray together first and foremost. I don't know, and try to remember the bigger picture, which is your love for one another and your dedication to your family. So I hope that kind of answers your question. 3 Diving 3 Soul 3, 3 Divine 3 _ Soul 3. I'm not exactly sure. So please forgive me. But it says, hey girl, I really enjoy your channel. You have easily become my favorite homemaker on YouTube. I have a few questions. What made you decide to be a stay-at-home mom, and what was the last job you had before becoming a homemaker? So let me just answer them one by one. So the first question is, what made you decide to be a stay-at-home mom? So for those of you guys that don't know, first of all, I have 3 children, and there's a big age gap between the first one and the last 2. So the last 2 were literally born back to back, Khaleesi and Junior. And Khaleesi was born October 14, 2014, and Junior was born October 15, 2015. We did not plan that. But nevertheless, when I was pregnant, no, when I gave birth to Khaleesi, I went back to work, and it was very hard. It was just, I mean, just like any parent, you know, any mom, it was just hard to leave your newborn baby. And given I left her with my mother-in-law, that didn't make it any easier. I mean, it did make it easier in a way because I knew she was safe and I knew she was with somebody who loved her, but I'm her mama, you know? So, and I didn't know that when I went back to work, I was pregnant. So I guess I was extra emotional. And so I just decided when I got pregnant with Junior, like there's no way I'm leaving 2 babies. I'm just, and not even, there's no way am I leaving 2 babies. There's no way that I'm gonna ask my mother-in-law to care for 2 babies. So there's that. The second question is, what was the last job you had before becoming a homemaker? I actually used to work at the DMV. She says, oh, and what is your dream job, and do you want to go back to work? I think my dream job would be an interior designer. That's what, I don't know, when I decorate, when I'm shopping for decor, when I'm looking at decor online, that's when I'm like the happiest. So I feel like it's something that comes really natural to me. So I think that would be my dream job. And then it says, and do you want to go back to work? So I do work. YouTube is definitely work. I have a business license and I have to file a 1099 just like any entrepreneur. I also do work outside of the home. Part-time, I make my own schedule, but I do assisted living. So I do still work, but do I want to go back, like, you know, doing like a full-time job outside of the house? No, I will never do that again. Unless I had to. I never say never, but I don't want to do that. I don't necessarily want to do that part again. And she says, I have a 10, 3, and 1-year-old. I'm contemplating on transitioning to being a stay-at-home mom. I've been home due to COVID, and I'm thinking of downsizing to be able just to stay home full-time. Sorry if you guys hear my air condition. So I hope that you're able to do that. It is not something that's easy to do, I will say. If you're used to working outside of the house and then, well, you've been doing it since COVID, so you already know, you don't need my advice. But if that is definitely something that you're able to do, I hope you're able to do it. Wanta Hill Bernie says, hi Shanthi, I hope you're having an amazing day. I hope you are too, girl. My questions are, have you always lived in California since you've been married? Are there any plans to ever move to another city or state? Yes, I've always lived in California. I've always lived in California my whole life. You said since I've been married, but my whole entire life I've lived in California. California girl, born and raised. Are there plans to ever move to another city or state? No, there are not. My husband won't do it. I asked him before if, cause he was born in Georgia. He was raised in California. And I mean, he came here when he was a baby. So he's not technically from California, but he's from California. But he was born in Georgia. And I always ask him, like, would you ever want to move back? Like, would you ever want to move to Georgia or just to the South? Because I don't know if y'all know this about me, but I feel like I have a very Southern type of personality. Like, I've asked my mom a couple times, like, Mom, are you sure I wasn't born in the South? Because I feel like, I don't know, I kind of feel Southernish. I feel Southernish, y'all. Like, I do. I feel like I have that, like, very, like, down to earth, comfy, inviting personality. Not to like give myself too many, you know, kudos or anything, but I feel like I don't know, I just love the South. I love the South. So I've asked him before, like, would you ever want to move out there? Plus, in comparison to California, everything is cheaper, especially, you know, your property and buying a house. So he said no. The answer is no. This is from T Simpson. Shanthi, I love your nails. Okay guys, I'm gonna T Simpson, not to pick on you, okay, because I'm not trying to, but you guys, why do you guys call me Shanthi and Ashanti and Shante when I always tell you guys my name is Shanthi? I'm just curious. I'm just curious. Sometimes this could be a typo. Like, I know that the computer takes over, like when you're typing stuff and it types what it wants. But a lot of you just constantly call me Shanthi, or y'all call me Shanthi's because of my other channel, Shanthislifestyle. And I'm just really wondering why, I mean, it's just Shanthi. Okay, but let me move on, okay? I digress. So Shanthi, I love your nails. Thank you, boo. Always so pretty. How do you find time to get your nails done with the little ones? When they were younger, I used to have to take them with me. I would have to take them with me, or I would wait for my husband to be home and for him to have some downtime so I could go. Now, this is what I'm gonna say. So I've always gotten my nails done since I could get my nails done. Since I was 16, I paid for my own nails and I've always gotten them done. And I just so happened to get with a man who wants me to have my nails done. I think my husband actually wants my nails done more than I want my nails done. Like, sometimes there's been times where I'll be like, I'm just gonna take them off and give, you know, I don't want to be dealing with them for this month. And he'll look at me like, no you don't. So he genuinely likes like how they look, and he always has paid for them since we've been together for 12 years. So I keep them up. So I just find the time to answer your question. I either wait for him to be home, or I've taken them with me. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Mores and more. Hey boo. Hey Shanthi, I really loved your last vlog. Thank you. I watched it with my mom yesterday. I really love all your videos. What advice would you give to upcoming YouTubers? So she has more to say, but I'm answering this question first. So what advice would I have for upcoming YouTubers? So I wish I would have known this from the jump, you guys. I didn't know that finding a niche and sticking with it was important. So when I first started my YouTube channel, on my other channel, on Shanthislifestyle, which is always linked below, but when I started Shanthislifestyle, I didn't know that you couldn't post like whatever you wanted. So for the first like 2 years, which I just came up on being on YouTube for 4 years, but for the first 2 years, I was posting, maybe 2.5 years to be honest with y'all, I was posting 3 times a week. And I was posting a vlog, and then I would do like a sit down video, so like a face-to-face video like this, or like my Amazon faves, or just some kind of sit down video, and I was doing a cleaning video. Now, YouTube, the algorithm, it doesn't pick that up. It doesn't know how to recommend your channel. So it doesn't know, like, y'all, first of all, please hold. Look at that. I know. See, you guys are observant. So I know you guys are noticing that I still have that picture frame empty and ain't a picture in it. I'm gonna fix that. But I know some of you guys like, why she got a picture frame on the shelf and no picture? Because I ain't no good, but I'm gonna fix that. Anyways, yeah. Okay, so the YouTube algorithm does not pick up on that. They don't know how to recommend your channel. They don't know if you're a vlogger. They don't know if you're doing a cleaning video or like a sit down video. Are you doing a Q&A? Like, they don't know how to suggest how to recommend your channel. So you really, by doing too many different things, you're doing your channel an injustice, and all of your hard work and all of the time that you're putting in is probably gonna go in vain. Now, what I will say is that when you do become like a bigger YouTuber, and your channel kind of, the algorithms know how to recommend your channel, and maybe when you throw another, you know, a different type of video out, maybe it might still do well, maybe, you know, but you have a better chance of it doing well then when you're already established, as opposed to when you're starting out. So that is my advice. Get a niche and stick with it. Stick with it, know what you want to do, and then also have quality, you guys. Those are the 2 biggest things I could tell you. Like, you don't have to go out and get an expensive camera. I've always had a vlogging camera. I told my husband, I'm not doing YouTube unless I have a camera. I didn't need a camera. I could have used my phone, because I know people who do really amazing quality and they use their phone. And the way the phones are set up these days, you can still provide good quality, but take your time and put out just professional and good quality looking videos. Like, take your time with it. And my mom used to always tell me growing up, if you're gonna put your name on something, then make sure it's at the best quality it can be. So, you know, same things with videos. So those are 2 things. So definitely find your niche, stick with it, and then put out good quality content and the clarity of the video. Make sure, you know, make sure your camera and your lens is clean. Make sure that you're taking your time editing, things like that. Her second question is, do you collab with YouTubers with a small following? And I collab with anybody that I click with, that I vibe with, that I can say I genuinely like their content and I'm gonna recommend this content to other people. But for the most part, I have to be able to click with you. Now, I will say I don't do a whole lot of collabs right now because collabs take a lot of work. They take a lot of work because it's like you're on a specific time schedule and time frame, and you don't want to mess anybody else's time frame up. So I don't collab like I used to. I just don't. And then you got to be careful who you collab with. So, and that, you know, that's a whole nother video. But anyways, and then she says, I hope to one day be a part of Real Housewives of YouTube. I think you ladies are so dope. Thank you so much, and we genuinely appreciate the support and love. I will say this, because there's been multiple people who have asked me, you know, if you guys are the Real Housewives of YouTube, are you guys going to be taking new housewives on or whatever? And you know, we did not go into doing this thinking like we're going to expand and collab with other ladies. Not that we won't do our own separate collabs, you know, like we can do our own individual collabs, but it'll kind of be like, you know, okay, so we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that for a specific reason, because so say we collab with, you know, one lady on her channel, and then we decide we don't want to collab with this lady. We don't want it to get like controversial and like, oh, she collab with her but she doesn't collab with her, and then it become like a whole thing. It was just this the way this came about with us doing the Real Housewives of YouTube, we all feel like literally it was something that God kind of put together. Okay, I don't know, it wasn't anything planned. It was just something that came about one day, and it's like a beautiful thing, and we all have a sisterhood. Not that we can't have a sisterhood with someone else, it's just that we don't want it to, we just don't want to say yes to somebody and not say yes to another person. I hope that makes sense. This is from Hustle to Breathe Mama. I want to say I love your vibe. You're soft-spoken plus outspoken. I truly love your content because it gives me motivation to keep pushing to purchase my dream home because I love your home decor. Thank you so much. That's very kind. And God will definitely bless you with your dream home. From Marie. Hey Shanthi, I absolutely love your videos. Your personality is absolutely amazing. You have such a warm heart. It really shows through your videos. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. My question is, what is your favorite thing about being a mom? And you have a couple more questions, but I'm gonna go ahead and answer that one first. My favorite thing about being a mom, I don't know, that is my absolute favorite thing in the world though, is being a mom. And I guess maybe it's because the love is unconditional. Like I love my children unconditionally, and I know they love me unconditionally. And I don't know, it's just such a blessing from God. It's just like, it is the purest form of love on earth. It's just such a genuine love. Like it's a love that you don't have to think about. It's a instantaneous love. It's just, I don't know, that's my favorite thing. The second question is, what is one of your most cherished memories from when your oldest was little and now with your new little ones? So my most cherished memory with Soraya, that's my oldest, for anybody who doesn't know. I think one of my most cherished memories with her is I entered her into a beauty pageant when she was 2 or 3. She was 2 or 3, and she won. And Soraya is a beautiful girl. She's a beautiful, beautiful girl. Anyways, it was just fun, like going through that experience with her, and seeing her like, just seeing her little personality on stage. So that's one of my most cherished memories, because I don't know, they grow up so fast. But yeah, I would definitely have to say that's one of my most cherished memories from when she was little. And then with my new little ones, they're 6 and 7. But I think with Khaleesi and Junior, my most cherished memories are when I had my daycare, because I was able to spend so much time with them, like one-on-one, and see them like play with other little kids for the first time. Just that whole time that I had the daycare. So I had the daycare, for anybody who's wondering, when Khaleesi turned 2 and Junior turned 1, I started my daycare. So I have a whole bunch of stories. A whole bunch of stories with them in the daycare. Just like my fondest and most precious memories with them. Do you have a favorite sweet? I remember you saying you don't really like them in one video, but when you do want something, what would that be? Chocolate covered strawberries. I love chocolate covered strawberries. And then if I'm craving something without chocolate, because I'm not a big chocolate person, it'll just have to be something like, I don't know, maybe like the original Skittles, or there are these Nerd gummies that I like. that I just started liking not too long ago, it'll be something like that. And the last one, what is your absolute favorite scent? One where you can smell it and instantly and know what it is. Anything that has to do like with dried linen or laundry, something like that. I also love peppermint. Peppermint is probably my absolute favorite. From Wendy Davis, hey Shanthi, I absolutely loved your birthday post. Thank you. As always, you were beautiful on your birthday. Thank you so much. Question for Q&A. You said you were working on a new business venture. Are you ready to share it yet? No, I'm not ready to share it yet because, to be honest, I had started the process and then stopped it and then recently restarted it. So I promise you I'm gonna share it one day. And your description about the mammogram was spot on, girl. I was amening out loud at home. If you guys did not see that video where I was talking about the mammogram, I'll link that down below so you know what she's talking about, but thank you. And yes, I answered that. Yes, I do work outside the home part-time and up to my discretion, and I do assisted living like I said before. What does your husband do for a living? So my husband is an entrepreneur also. He has a job that he works outside the home. I'm not gonna say where he works, but I will say that he operates machines. That's what I'll say. He operates machines, and he also has a side job where he does a lot with cars, and that's his own business. Doris McNeely, hey Shanthi. Shanthi, you have a gorgeous family. Thank you so much, Doris. I appreciate that. How many times a month do you cook homemade cake or cookies? And so I try to make my family some kind of sweets every single week, but they're not always homemade. I don't have time for all that all the time. I definitely, I would say I'll try to do that twice a month. So it might be, you know, I'll try to alternate sometimes, but sometimes it's the full 4 times a month. Cause like I said, like try to do it once a week. So they might get boxed or they might get homemade, but the point is that they have something. Mrs. Carey for you says, hello Shanthi, such random questions. When was the last time you cried? Happy tears or sad? And then when was the last time you laughed so hard? When was the last time you cried happy tears or sad? Sad tears, not that long ago. And happy tears, the same, not that long ago. It's pretty recent. And when was the last time you laughed so hard? That's when I cried. I was one of the happy tears. Me and the girls, when I say the girls, I mean me, Tiff, Senya, and Cleosha in a group chat one day, especially me and Tiff. I think it was me and Tiff up late one night. And when I tell you we laughed till we cried, like, y'all, talking to them sometimes is just, it's the best time. Like, it is the best time. And that was pretty recent. Coffee and Life Sessions with Lady Sean says, hey girl, I just want to say that I love your channel. It's your authenticity for me. You're such a beautiful lady. What is your ethnicity and what type of work does your hubby do? So I already answered what type of work does my husband do. And my ethnicity is I'm black and mixed with white. So my mom is not fully white, but she is mostly white. So my mom is mixed, but she has more white than black. And then, yeah, so it's a black and white mixture. Just Doris, hey girl, happy Sunday, Shanthi. Well, you put Shanti, but I'm sorry, y'all. Oh, is that petty? Just to keep pointing out stuff? I ain't, y'all gotta forgive me. I'm not doing that intentionally. I just want you guys, because here's the thing. I'm big on pronunciation. I'm big on making sure that I take my time to pronounce everybody's name correctly to the best of my ability, and definitely spell it. I don't know if y'all know, but like when I respond to comments, a lot of the time I'll use your name. If your name is on your handle, I will use your name because I feel like it's more personable. I don't want to just leave a comment. I can't do it every single time, but I try to make it more personable. So that's a big thing to me. So I'm not trying to be like petty. I just want y'all to know my name is Shanthi. I love your channel. Thank you very much. I love all your cooking tips. What are some good tips on some nice fragrances for your home? I have been trying to look for a particular smell for my house. I want it to smell to last through. Okay, I think you're trying to say I want this smell to go through the whole home. And do you have any ideas? Have a great day. So peppermint. Peppermint, cinnamon, laundry, like linen, those are my fragrances. And those go throughout the whole house and they smell super good in my opinion. Bertha Homus 48. What makes you do what you do, or what makes you inspired to make a difference on YouTube with your videos and content? And how is it an impact on your journey of success? So so the first question, what makes you do what you do? So I started YouTube, it just turned 4 years, and I was watching YouTube one day. I was watching YouTube for a while, and like I said, I have another channel that's my main channel, and I was watching a lot of homemaking videos, and I was thinking to myself, like, I do this, you know, I do this stuff on a daily basis, and I'm not just doing it, not saying that anybody else I was watching was doing it for the camera, but this is something that I genuinely took pride in, and I did every single day: cooking, cleaning, decorating, excuse me. Those are the things that I naturally did and that I enjoy doing. So I was like, I could do this. And then also I noticed that there were not a lot of women of color. I wasn't seeing, and not that it matters, you know, because it doesn't, but I feel like everybody should have some fair representation out there. You know, it's not just white women who care for their homes. It's not just black women or Hispanic women or Asian women, like we all do, you know. Yeah, that's what made me want to do YouTube. It was just because it was stuff I was already doing, and I wanted there to be a representation for women of color as well. I wanted to also represent not just women, but also women of color. What makes you so inspired to make a difference on YouTube with your videos and content? So yeah, I kind of touched on that. Just, I feel like it's inspirational to see other women, and then also to see someone who looks like you as well. That helps you be inspired, you know. Also, I like to help inspire like younger women. I'm 40, you guys. So anybody who is looking, anybody that's younger than me, that's, you know, looking for, I feel like there's a lot of women out there who don't have like a strong foundation on how to be a homemaker or what to do, and they're looking for tips, because I've been told this. And not to say I'm perfect, because I'm not, far from it, okay? But I do feel like I offer a lot of good things that will help to kind of pave your way in homemaking. How does that impact my journey of success? So I feel like when you're naturally genuine and you're doing something that you love, it helps you to be successful a lot easier. Simply living by grace. Love your videos, thank you. I made your famous chicken Alfredo and it was bomb. I'm glad you liked it. I love your decor, thank you. What YouTube video do you enjoy watching? How long have you been a stay-at-home mom? When did you start your YouTube channel? Okay, what YouTube videos do you enjoy watching? So I love watching cleaning videos. I love watching vlogs. I love good quality videos. So I'm a kind of person, like, I don't just watch one type of thing. I watch several different things. I might watch some, you know, someone like a shop with me where somebody's shopping and they do a haul. So I watch all different types of videos, but the quality has to be there for me. So the second question is, how long have you been a stay-at-home mom? Since 2016. So, but I don't really, I'm a stay-at-home mom, but I also have an income. So I guess I'm a stay-at-home work-from-home mom. I don't know. I do work outside the house. Not a whole lot of hours. It's part-time, but yeah. But this started in 2016. When did you start your YouTube channel? In February. It was either at the end of February or March 2018. Stephanie Tillman, can the Real Housewives of YouTube do a cooking segment with the husband and wife both cooking, and the kids get to choose whose dish was the best? That's cute. I like that idea. Cynthia, Tiff, Cleosha, y'all make note of that too, okay? I think that's a cute idea. Cynthia Admiral says, hi, Shanthi. Okay, everybody gonna call me Shanthi, that's fine. I guess that's more common anyways. But you guys, my name is Shanthi, it means peace. Y'all don't care. Hi, Shanthi. Love your channel, thank you. Beautiful picture, thank you very much. What beauty products do you use? So, I don't know. Beauty products, meaning I don't know if you're talking about makeup or if you're talking about like skincare. So as far as skincare, I make a homemade scrub that I've been using for years, and I've showed you guys on my channel how I do that several times. I will be making some more soon, so, but it's just simple. It's just like coarse sugar, honey, and lemon. And so I do that, and then I do use very sensitive cleansers. For the most part, sometimes I'll step out and I'll try like another line of beauty products. I'm not really like committed to one set of beauty skincare products, I should say. But they do have to be pretty much like sensitive because I have sensitive skin. So sometimes I use Cetaphil or Cetaphil, however that's pronounced. And then sometimes I'll go between that and Burt's Bees. I love Burt's Bees products. I don't know, I've tried a whole bunch of different products, so I'm not like just stuck on one specific product. I'll also try like high-end products sometimes, so it just depends. If you're talking about makeup, I use a lot of different brands. I like Urban Decay, Anastasia, Benefit, MAC. I don't know, that's kind of all over the place. But if you have a specific question that I didn't answer, just ask me again and be more specific, and I'll answer that question for you. This one is from Aisha Renee G, and I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Hey Shanthi, thank you girl. You spelled it correctly. Happy Sunday. I don't know if you ever answered this question, but I want to know if that is you and your family forever home. It is so beautiful. Thank you so much. And no, it's not. It's not our forever home. So one day we do plan to buy another house, and that home will be for our forever home. From Lala Bradley, hey Shanthi, you keep such a clean, tidy house while having your kids. What's your secret? My secret, girl, is that I clean all day long. I literally clean all day. If you know me, you just know I'm always cleaning. I don't necessarily recommend cleaning all day, but I feel like it's necessary for me. I'm very anal. I'm pretty sure I have some kind of level of legitimate OCD, and so that's what I do. But girl, I clean all day long. From Jeannie Schumann or Schumann, I apologize if I did not pronounce that correctly. It says, hi, you are so nice and I enjoy watching the video. Thank you. Question, what is your favorite food to cook for your family? And thank you in advance. I don't necessarily have a favorite food to cook. I enjoy cooking for my family. The things that they request the most would be probably chicken enchiladas, baked macaroni and cheese, fajita bowls, and then Khaleesi and Junior always request chicken Alfredo, but I don't necessarily have anything specific that's my favorite to cook. From Montrese Madlock, I like your name, Montrese. I want to know, will you renew your vows, and why don't you show the oldest Soraya's room? Yeah, one day we do plan on renewing our vows. When we've been married, we've been together for 12 years, but we've been married for 8. So we do plan on renewing our vows once we hit the 10-year mark in our marriage. And why don't I show Soraya's room? So you guys, Soraya is a teenager. She's actually gonna be 18 in a couple months. So I try to respect her privacy. If she doesn't want to be on camera, I don't film her. Her room is her personal space, even though of course it's in this house and this is our house, but it's also her space. So I don't film it too much. Have I filmed it before? Yes. If you want to see what her room looks like, she's very much a minimalist, you know, so she only wants a minimal amount of decor in there. I did film it this past Christmas, so I'll link that video down below if you're curious to see what her room looks like. But in all honesty, there really wouldn't be a reason for me to film her room. I'm not going to go in her room and clean it. And I mean, it's just not really like a reason for me to go in there and show her room specifically. I know I'm a butcher. I pray I don't butcher your name, because I absolutely love you, girl. You leave such wonderful comments all the time. But if I do mess this name up, please let me know phonetically, like spell it out for me so I know how to pronounce this. So I'm gonna say your name is Quayne Thomas. Man, I hope I said that right. But if it's not, please correct me. Hey Shanthi, and she said my name right. Q-Pig Hunty, thank you. How do you balance YouTube and your personal life? What was your motivation to start YouTube? Is there anything you would do differently? I kind of touched on all of this, except how do you balance YouTube and your personal life? I try to incorporate them together. So on my vlog channel, I vlog what I'm already doing. And on my cleaning channel, I'm already cleaning as well, but that is definitely a much harder thing to film. You would think it wouldn't be so hard, but it is. There is a lot of work that goes into a cleaning video. If you guys are watching people who do cleaning videos, I mean, you probably would never know. You have to film a cleaning video and edit one to actually know how much work goes into it. But you just have to set aside, you know, office hours, like just like you would working period. You know, you go to work from this time to this time, this days that, you know, these specific days that you go to work. So you just kind of have to look at it like that. What was your motivation to start YouTube? And I already talked about that. Is there anything you would do differently? And I touched on that. I would stick with my niche. I wouldn't have put out 3 different types of videos every single week. I would have put out 3 of the same videos. So I would have stuck with my niche. And had I done that, I guarantee you I would have more than 26,000 subscribers on my other channel. Not that I'm not grateful for the subscribers. I definitely am, but I feel like I would just be further along. Married Life 20 says, I need to know the eyeliner you use. It always looks so good. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I don't have any eyeliner on today. Well, not any top eyeliner, but I use Bad Girl Bang by Benefit. I'll link that down below in my description box. You can get it from Ulta, you can get it from Amazon, so I will link that down below. And y'all, it's my favorite eyeliner. I've used plenty of eyeliners, okay? It's not the cheapest eyeliner, but if you want it to look a certain way, you gotta pay for what you want, right? Okay, Jasmine Swinson, you are so beautiful. Are you mixed with anything? Yes, I talked about that. Tell us a story about how old your oldest was when you learned you were pregnant with your youngins. So Soraya was 10 when I had Khaleesi, and then she was 11 when I had Junior. And she was happy. Let me tell you guys, she had been begging me to give her a sibling. So she was super happy. When Khaleesi was born, she literally would come into the room and like take her from me as an infant. She would take her from me and like cuddle up with her. She was super cute. Okay, Selena Dothert says, beautiful, love your vlogs. Thank you so much, Selena. Stephanie G says, hi Shanthi. Thank you, girl, for spelling my name right. How do you like living in California? Would you ever move to another state? So I answered the second part, we'll never move to another state. I'm pretty sure of it. How do I like living in California? I love it. I'm California born and raised, so I love Cali. Rainbow Kids, hi, it comes across in your videos that you are intelligent. Oh, thanks, boo. I'm curious to know, what is your educational background and what job or jobs did you do prior to having the in-home daycare and before YouTube? So educational background, I did go to college. I did not make it as far as I wanted to, but I did get an associate's degree. And then as far as what kind of jobs did I do, well, my job before having the daycare, I worked at the DMV, but typically my background is in like administrative assistant, human resources. Those are the types of jobs that I've held, or those are the jobs that I have the most experience in. From Sophia Coleman, hello, I hope you and the family are having a wonderful day. I think I remember you saying how you and your husband met, but how long have you guys been together and how long have y'all been married? Why doesn't your oldest want to be on camera? I'm sure she is beautiful as you are. Thank you. What state do you live in? Before YouTube, what did you do for a living? So I've answered a few of these questions. Let's see here. The first question is, how did we meet? So yes, I've answered this question before, but that was a long time ago. So my husband and I, we met at a signal light. He was actually like a contractor and he had seen me in an apartment complex, the one I was living in at the time. And I got out to check my mail and I noticed him like in his truck. And I had got back in the car. I was actually going on my way to pick up Soraya. And so when he caught up with me, we came outside of the apartment complex and we were at a signal light. And I noticed him trying, and it was summer. My windows were down. I remember this very clear, or spring. Anyways, my windows were down and he was like trying to get my attention and I was trying my best to ignore him. And it was just because I just didn't feel like being bothered at the time. Like, anyways, so I'm doing all this, like looking to the opposite direction. He's to the right of me. So I start looking to the left of me, like I was looking for my lip gloss that had failed. So I don't know if this is like a Cali thing or if this is just like an ignorant man thing all over across the board. But in Cali, when you turn a man down, especially during that time period, they'll call you out your name. They'll call you out your name a lot of times, not all the times, but they'll call you out your name. They'll call you something like, okay, you stuck up B, I didn't want your number anyway. Like whatever, like I had that happen to me a couple times. So just to not deal with anything like that, which is probably not good, I used to give people a fake number. And I would give it to them a digit off. So I'd be like, my number is da-da-da-da-da, and I would like throw in one incorrect digit. So when he asked me for my phone number, you guys, I didn't even look at him directly. I didn't even know what nationality he was. Like I had no idea if he was black, Hispanic. Like I just was not trying to look at this man. I know it sounds crazy, but this is the truth. And so when I gave him the number, y'all, it came out correct. And I was like, ah! And before I could be like, hey, that's not it, and try to lie to him, the light was green. That's how it happened. And every now and again, y'all, my husband will send me a picture of a map zoomed into that city, to that location, to that street, and he'll circle it in red and be like, remember when you almost messed your life up? Right here at this light. Like, He is a whole fool, like, but he ain't lying, okay? But that was all God. I really feel like that was all God, because when I tell you, I was like, hold on, that ain't it. You know, even though it was it, the light was green. He was gone already. Like, he got what he wanted, and that was that. But that's how we met. And I answered, how long do we been together? 12 years. We've been married for 8. Why doesn't your oldest want to be on camera? She says she's camera shy, so I don't push it. She's not comfortable being on camera. She is a very beautiful girl, and I do try to get her every now and again. Like, I will get her, you know, sometimes, but you know, she doesn't want to be on camera, so I don't push it too much. From Deanna West, hey girl, if you could go back in time to change or add anything to your life, would you? Why or why not? What best color describes your personality? And if you weren't doing YouTube, what would be your dream job? So I think I've answered a couple of these, but the first question, would I go back and change anything to my life? Why or why not? No, I would not. And that's because I feel like my life is, God is in control of my life. So every trial, tribulation, triumph I've had clearly has been what he has wanted for my life. And so I'm happy with the woman I am and the position I am in, and anything that I want to do better at, I will just strive to do that with his guidance. So I'm just content with what he's given me, and I strive to be better every day. Second question, what best color describes my personality? I guess I would say like pink, and that like pale pink, that, or like the mauve type pink. Those are my favorite pinks. And I don't know, that's the color I would choose, because I'm just not a like in your face type person. I'm just kind of like a neutral type, laid back type person. And then if you weren't doing YouTube, what would be your dream job? I said that before. I would be an interior designer. Chantel Johnson says, no question, just wanted to say I love your channel and you always give me a good laugh. Thank you, girl. Just like Yesenia and Tiff, y'all my girls. Hashtag RHOYT, Real Housewives of YouTube. Thank you, we appreciate it. Tanil Williams says, hey girl, first of all. She says, hey my beautiful sister, hey back at you. First, I wanted to say how much I love you and your channel. What was your occupation before you became a YouTuber and a stay-at-home mom? I already answered that. And when you started decorating your beautiful home, did you buy your decor all at once or over time? Definitely over time. I have too much decor to have purchased it at one time. Decor is super expensive, and if you guys follow me over on my other channel, then you know that I have a whole lot of it. I have a shed that's full of bins that has decor, seasonal decor, everyday decor. It's just filled with bins of decor. So I've always been into decorating my house way before YouTube. And I hope I don't butcher this, but sincerely, Afrikia. What are your tips on keeping the fire in your marriage? What is your self-care routine? The fire in your marriage. So I guess I would say this. Whatever you did in the beginning when you first got with, you know, your husband or your wife, whomever, keep that same energy. Like, keep that up. So for like my husband and I, we're very big on acknowledging each other and, you know, still doing those little cute things. So my husband and I still flirt with each other. We still text each other. I love you. I'm thinking about you when we're not together. We've done that for 12 years consistently. So I guess the tip would be consistent. Whatever you initially did to create the fire, keep that going. Keep that same energy so you can keep that fire up. I often, like, I'll flirt with my husband. He flirts with me all the time. But I'll flirt with him, especially like when we're in public. I'll go up to him and be like, you know, I don't usually do this, but you know, I was just wondering, do you have a wife? I can't even take myself serious, but I do that. Like, you know, do you have a wife? You got a girl? And he'll reply all the time like, no, I'm married. And I'll be like, but are you happy? Let me stop. But that's what I do. I still flirt with my husband. I still flirt with my husband, and I try my best to be the same, just continue with the same things that we did when we first met each other. It's easy to do when you're married to a person who does the same things as well. Oh, and your second question was, what is your self-care routine? So I don't always have a self-care routine. I feel like as moms and wives, we often neglect ourselves and we don't do things for ourselves. But when I do, it definitely includes a bubble bath and some wine. That's for sure. Cults Fam 05, hello and thank you. New subscriber here, thank you so much. And just wondering about the age gap of your 3 children. I have an age gap as well with mine, thanks again. And I've already mentioned this. There is a 10-year age gap between Soraya and Khaleesi, and an 11-year age gap, an 11-year gap between Soraya and Junior. Okay, so from Amerslow, Shanthi, you are beautiful, humble, and kind. Thank you so much. What do you do or enjoy for mom downtime for yourself? Amers, it looks like you're beautiful too, girl. I can see your picture. But what do I do to enjoy for mom downtime for myself? I don't always get it. Ooh, y'all, my booty starting to hurt sitting on this ground like this. Like I ain't got good sense. Miss Lovely TV, hey girl. She says, thanks for the love shown on your last video. I watched on TV already, but thanks again, beautiful. You're very welcome. And she says, okay, my question is, what do you like most about doing YouTube? Do you ever see yourself doing something else? What do I like most about doing YouTube? I love the relationships that I built with you guys. I know there's a lot of you guys who don't leave comments, and I appreciate you guys just as much for always taking your time to watch. But for the subscribers that do leave comments, just building a relationship with you guys, a rapport. I really feel like a lot of you guys are my homegirls, you know? So I really, y'all, I think my contact, this y'all, this is not working. My left eye hurts. I think, you know what, I knew when I put this contact in, it was probably torn. It's just always something. I need to order some more. Anyways, what'd you say, Carla? Hold on, girl. What do I like most about doing YouTube? What did I say? What do I say? Oh, y'all. Y'all. I like y'all the most. Yes, I like the relationships that I have built with you guys, and just getting to know you guys. And I think it's amazing how you can connect with so many different people through social media all across the world. So I love, yeah, so you guys, do you ever see yourself doing something else? And yeah, definitely. I mean, I have lots of goals and ambitions, and so yes, I definitely see myself doing other things. Dida Morales, or Dida Morales, I apologize if I messed your name up. You said hello, I always enjoy your content. Thank you so much. My question is, are you half Mexican? No, I'm not. Simply Yesenia, my girl Yesenia. What are your favorite types of videos to watch on YouTube? And I believe I answered that. My favorite types of videos are videos of good quality, but my absolute favorite are videos, well, I guess maybe I didn't really answer this. This contact. My absolute favorite videos are videos that have like a little bit of everything. So they'll have some homemaking, they'll have decorating, you know, I'm gonna show you cooking and cleaning, maybe a decor haul, or a grocery haul, just a vlog, a video that touches on more than just like one thing. I love watching those type of videos, and once again, the quality. So from It's Eva IEF, love when you post. Thank you, beautiful picture. Thank you very much. From Demita Lachey, it says, question number 1, how did you and your husband love story get started? I answered that. And she says, I'm not asking for anything too personal like a lot of people. Do a cutesy version. Okay. And number 2, why and how did you start your YouTube channel? So I've answered both of this. So I've answered both of those, but thank you so much for leaving your questions. Stephanie Tillman says, if the pandemic ever ends, will you open your daycare again? No, I will not. Maria Cooper, hi Shanthi, thanks for the picture. You spelled my name correctly, thank you. Thanks for the picture, you look good. Happy Sunday to you and the family. All right, thank you, Maria. Jessica Santiago says, hey gorgeous, are you Latina? No, I'm not. What's your testimony? Huh, that's a good one. What's your dream vacation? If you were to move, what state would you choose? Why do you gravitate towards melancholy music, and what's your happiest memory? Okay, so these are some good questions. What's your testimony? I hearted this comment, but I didn't look at it. I don't even know what my testimony would be. So I don't know what specific kind of testimony you're looking for. Like if you're looking for a religious testimony, man, this is a tough one. You caught me off guard with that. I'm not sure. I'm sure I have many testimonies, different types of testimonies. I cannot really think of one specifically. If you were to move, what state would you choose? I would choose Georgia, even though I've never been there, but I would choose Georgia or Texas. It says, why do you gravitate towards melancholy music? Well, I do because my favorite genres of music are country music and R&B. So that's typically the vibe of both of those genres. So that's just what I like. And what's my happiest memory? Having all 3 of my children and marrying my husband. Sarah C says, what does your husband do for a living? I answered that. I hope I don't mess this up. Tawakia Reed says, no question. Beautiful picture. Thank you very much. Stephanie Lee, hey beautiful. Hey back at you. Shay from Shay Marie and Family Vlogs. This is my girl. Hey friend, you know mine. Well, her question is, what has been the craziest thing that has ever happened to you as a YouTuber? What is the craziest comment that you have ever gotten? The craziest thing that's ever happened to me as a YouTuber is when, I would say the first time anybody recognized me, but it's actually been every time somebody's recognized me, like out in public, you know, because it feels like kind of surreal, because the people, those of you that I have met in person, you guys are so kind. You guys are so kind and like so happy to see me in person that it's a very overwhelming feeling for me. And it's not something that I've gotten used to because, you know, it's not like it happens all the time. There was one lady specifically who, when she met me, she cried, and she was so happy, and she told me that she cried, and then she told me that I make such a big difference in her life and she's learned a lot from me. And you guys, that's a very overwhelming feeling. It's a very I feel very blessed that she even looks at me like that, and that I was able to help her in any way, shape, or form. But it's a very overwhelming feeling. And then I didn't cry on the spot, but soon as I hit that corner, I cried. And also, every single time I have seen one of my subscribers, it's either been in Target or Hobby Lobby, with the exception of, I was in the nail shop just recently, and one of you guys recognized me. The second question was, what is the craziest comment that you have ever gotten? There was a person who left a comment on my other channel. I'm gonna say this person definitely has been following me, especially on this channel as well, because I don't know what I said in that video, but I was talking about my kids, and then I had said something like, you know, since we're a family of 5, yada, yada, yada. That's what I remember specifically being like, oh, we're a family of 5. And for those of you guys that don't know, my oldest is not, I mean, clearly you guys could do the math. You guys have asked me plenty of times how long have my husband and I been together. We've been together 12 years, and I've told you that my oldest is about to be 18. Clearly that's not her biological dad. That is definitely her dad, but that's not her biological dad. This lady had enough audacity to tell me to be careful about discluding my oldest daughter, because she'll never forgive me for that. I was like, oh, this lady got me twisted. She got me like all the way to the left. She don't know who she's talking about. She must not know who she's talking to, clearly. So I had to put her in her place. Like, first of all, we're a family of 5. Last time I checked, it's my 3 children and me and my husband. So 3 + 2 is 5. I don't know about y'all, but I mean, it can't equal anything else. Most of the times I'll ignore like silly, asinine comments. But when you talk about, when you hit home with me and you start talking about my kids, like, I'm gonna meet you with your same energy. If you're coming at me foul, I'm gonna come at you back just like that. Especially if you're talking about my children. Don't bring, everybody knows, don't bring children into anything. You just don't do that. So that's probably the craziest, not probably, that was definitely the comment that always stands out to me. And I'm a Taurus, y'all. So I didn't even go in like I wanted to in my head. Like, I said so many other things in my head. And sometimes, because I do have a bit of petty, just a little bit, I think about how I could have just like went in on this person. Sometimes I regret, like, you know what you should have did? You should have just said more. You should have went in, like really went in on her. But I didn't, because I'm a work in progress, okay? I'm a work in progress, and I try not to let people bring me down to their level. I really do. Okay, so that is it off of my community tab. Now I'm gonna head over to my Instagram, and there's just a few questions. Viola says, how many siblings do you have, and do we all have the same exact parents? Okay, so I have 6 brothers and 5 sisters, and no, we don't all have the exact same parents. I have some siblings where we share both parents, and I have some siblings where we only share one parent. None of them are any less my sibling. I don't believe in that half sibling talk. I don't love them halfway, so they're all my siblings. Agape2 says, what are you mixed with? I already answered that. Cara, do you plan on having more children? No ma'am. Mariah Baker asks, am I in my forever home? No. We do plan on buying a home one more time. Deanna M asks, am I happily married? Yeah, definitely happily married. No marriage is perfect. You know, we have good days and bad days like everybody else, but I can honestly, genuinely say that I married my best friend. Maria G asks, what is my favorite kind of food? And Mexican food. Mexican food is my favorite kind of food. She asks, what is your favorite outdoor activity? I don't have one. I don't like anything outdoors. I mean, heading from the car to Home Goods, if I'm outdoors activity, that's it. I don't do it. You guys, I don't. Me and outside, we don't get along. All right, you guys, so that is it. Those are all the questions that you guys asked me. If you didn't get an opportunity to ask me a question because you didn't see the community tab, I will be doing another one of these videos in the future. Or if it's just something that you have a question and you want to know now, go ahead and leave the question down below in the comments, and I will more than happily answer the question for you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.